Meet Sean Boswell, a high school kid who looks like a 30-year-old man. One day he messes with the football team captain over a girl and they decide to race each other. Sean would probably win, but this douchebag starts to play dirty and both cars crash. Police blame Sean and his mom decides to send him to live with his father in Tokyo. Sean is not much excited to live with his dad, who is a military type. But next morning he puts his uniform and goes to Japan school. He spots a cute girl, faces some weird habits, weird food and weird haircuts, until he meets Lil Bow Wow, who tries to make friends with a fellow American by trying to sell him crap. But soon it turns out they share an interest in fast cars. Bow Wow takes Sean to a car party and soon the hot chick from school shows up. Sean flirts a little, but turns out this girl Neela is with this DK guy who is like Yakuza and shit. Sean decides to challenge him to race, and though he doesn't have a car, this guy Han lends him his ride. But it turns out DK stands for Drift King and Sean doesn't even know what drift is. So he drifts like shit and makes a fool of himself and turns Han's car into garbage. Next day, Han picks him up after school and takes him to a guy that owns him money. He tells Sean to collect it. Turns out he is a sumo wrestler, so he throws him out, but at the end gets Han his money back. Han tells Sean he works for him now and Sean asks him to learn him how to drift. Then go to meet DK and Han tells him that Sean works for him. DK's sidekick challenges Sean for another race, making fun of his skills. DK and Han make a side bet over putting their cars on the line. Later, Han explains to Sean that DK's uncle is actually Yakuza and he is just a show-off, but Han deals with him to keep his uncle away. It also turns out Han owns quite a nice garage and a car collection, and he gives Sean a Mitsubishi. Sean begins to train his drift, but he sucks. Meanwhile at school, Bow Wow gets a beating and Sean defends him, and that earns him some Neela's attention. And later that evening, Han gives him a life lesson his dad never did, plus a drift tutorial. Sean spends his days training and gains some skills learning from Han. Soon he beats DK's ginger boyfriend, and that makes Neela planning their kids' names. Soon Sean asks her on a date and she agrees. She has her cute little life story that would probably help her earn a spot in a TV talent show. They have a really nice time, but the next day DK shows up with his gang and beats up Sean. When Neela finds out, she tells DK she breaks up with him. He gets mad and calls her mom a slut, so she goes to Sean and he takes care of her. Soon DK's uncle shows up at his place and tells him, "You know what? Those guys are stealing from you and I'm not just talking about your girlfriend, you fool." So this time Han gets a beating. Then DK spots Neela and he pulls a gun. Sean distracts him and they escape. Heist over the streets of Tokyo begins and IT ends up with Han crushing his car and IT blows up. Sean takes Neela to his dad's home, but DK soon shows up there. Lucky his dad shows up and saves Sean's life, and also Neela decides to go with DK to calm him down. Sean's dad wants to send him back, but he convinces him that staying and fighting against Yakuza is actually a better idea. Sean takes a bag full of money and goes to Kamata-san, aka DK's uncle. He embarrasses DK in front of his uncle and asks him to let them race each other. Kamata is like, "Cool, you guys do that." So they meet at this huge ass mountain and race from top to the bottom. At one point DK crushes his car and falls down. Sean finishes and wins the race and the girl. Yakuza uncle lets him go and the film ends with another parking party. Bow Wow tells Sean that someone who knew Han wants to race with him. Sean agrees and turns out it's Dominic Toretto. Race starts and that's how the film ends.